welcome to today's market update. Things are getting pretty wild and shaking up the markets in a big way. In today's video, I'll show you how DeepSeek event has influenced the markets and where buying opportunities have emerged. I'll back it all up with detailed chart analysis in the second part of the video, but first let's start with quick recap, like what happened. Nvidia just took a huge hit. Their stock dropped 17% in a single day after this a Chinese AI company called DeepSeek made a big breakthrough. Even though China doesn't have access to advanced US chips, DeepSeek has caught up enough to compete with OpenAI. This has investors worried that Nvidia's dominance in the AI space might not be as strong as it seemed. So that fear wiped out 589 billion USD in market value, an all-time record loss for a company in just in one day. The pricing in the market is reflection of we don't need Nvidia as a most expensive chips anymore. That's the mentality. That's the reflection of that mindset. I think that's, my personal view is it's a bit like an overreaction. I don't see cutting into demands for Nvidia's products, especially their new Blackwell chips anytime soon. In fact, Microsoft and Meta have both been super positive about their capex spending this year. That's the investment amount that they're planning to do on AI infrastructure and stuff, which is a great for Nvidia as they're a clients to them. Also, how do we even know? How can we sure that Nvidia's latest chips are not being used in considering China's situation that they don't generally disclose details and stuff. In order to trust, in terms of transparency, I think it's a bit conflicting. But the fact is DeepSeek is using Nvidia's H800 chips, which are still allowed to be sold under US regulation. So while the markets might be pricing in some fears, I think there's definitely we need to wait and see the details. We shouldn't be caught up in this story that quickly. So the Nasdaq fell around a 3% because of this, but not all stocks are down. Apple and Meta, for example, stood out as the expectations, managing to hold their ground, while most other tech names dropped. Outside of tech, we're seeing the usual risk-off reaction after the news. The dollar, Japanese yen, and Swiss franc are gaining strength, while emerging market currencies are under pressure, as it happens in every risk-off sentiment situation. So looking ahead, for this week is a big on Wednesday. Fed Chair Jerome Powell will talk about monetary policy and Fed, and at the same time Tesla, Microsoft, and Meta are all of them are reporting earnings. With so much happening, still it's not clear what markets focused on. Is the major focus is on DeepSeek side, or a earnings side, or a Fed side, or a tech, this Tesla, Microsoft, Meta earnings side. So it's not that certain yet. But the other major focus of the market is ongoing earnings season. By the way, some companies also are not that sold off. The Nvidia sell-off did not spread to all sectors. I think earnings season has also some a portion of impact on this situation, this outcome, as the earnings are coming really well. About the early results from S&P 500's Q4 earnings season, it's shaping up to be a solid start. For example, so far, 16% of S&P 500 companies have reported their Q4 results, and things look promising. 80% of these companies beat their earning estimates, which is better than both 5-year average of 77% and 10-year average of 75%. Plus, companies are exceeding earnings expectations by an average of 7.3%, while That's slightly below 5-year average, but it's still below 10-year average number. So what does this mean? The S&P 500 is seeing stronger earnings for Q4 2024 compared to last week and even last quarter. In fact, the year-over-year earnings growth rate for this quarter is the highest we've seen in 3 years. So that's a bit like a maybe risky if this is going to shape like a peak or something. But a closer look at sectors reveals that financials are leading the charge. As you might remember, last week I had mentioned that the earnings season is kicking off with financial, and the earnings result was great. If you check the XLF ETF through TradingView, you can see that the recent performance. Positive surprises from this sector have been the biggest driver of the earnings growth we've seen so far. On the flip side, there's some like downward revisions in the energy sector, which have limited the upside. It's still early for sure in the season, but if this trend continues in general, we could be looking at a stronger quarter for US equities. So now I'll quickly skip to like a chart section of the video. First of all, yeah, here you see USD Canadian dollar chart. First of all, like Canadian and Mexican currencies are hanging tough despite like a tariff threats, including against China. As you can see in the weekly chart, I had meant this is USDCAD was one of the trade idea that I had sent through rationale reports, and as you can see in the weekly chart, there's a symmetrical triangle chart pattern. Huge breakout occurred, and I mean this move it's owed to like due to mainly Trump's energy policies and stuff. And as you might remember, we saw like oil reacted really well after those expectation, and oil is highly tied to Canadian dollar, as the Canada is like an oil exporting country. And but yeah, like we had seen not this major move, by the way. Sorry, I thought I was in the daily chart. Here, this like a Canadian dollar strength, that's what I'm trying to talk about. This major positive movement happened just after the election, as the oil was pretty weak at that time because of there was like the geopolitical concerns was so much high and stuff. Also like the demand issues, supply and demand issues on the oil, it's still same, but the demand doesn't seem that much solid. And at the same time, like the yield's gonna be we're going up after the election and stuff. We saw this reaction. Then with the Trump, after this energy policies and stuff, we saw some consolidation. And as you can see, when we come to this daily chart, sorry, as you can see, it creates a tight flag, which is also at the same time, you can call it maybe like a rectangle chart pattern. It's consolidating. It's just like 30 days for now, but I still expect it to consolidate a bit. I still still when you check also dollar index, as you might all know, if this goes up, that means like Canadian dollar will depreciate. But in general, you might remember that I'm following dollar index still in the weekly chart, like this. So this movement that we saw last week just managed to stay as like I mean, it didn't go further just from being a pullback. It didn't just come below this level. So still the strong dollar index is intact, considering this like technical levels, and this level like this level of let's say like 107 level is being a strong support for now. It was like a resistance, but currently it's a support. So coming back to USDCAD, with looking this dollar index, I can tell you that still this like a bullish movement might be intact again. And according to Catch That, I'm watching this USDCAD like this daily rectangle chart pattern. Coming to USD Mexican peso, as you can see, there's an ascending triangle chart pattern formed after an uptrend, and still like if the tariff scenario is like comes as expected, that means like high tariffs and stuff, we would see that this price will go up, and like that means depreciation of Mexican peso, and the potential price target is at 21.8 levels according to this ascending triangle chart pattern. Euro franc was another trade idea that I had given in previous video plus rational equities report. As you can see, there's a head and shoulder bottom chart pattern was formed, a breakout occurred, and I had mentioned in that video as well, generally I really don't prefer to be long in any kind of instrument if it's just below 200-day moving average. And as you can see, this red line is 200-day moving average, and the price got rejected from that level and now pulling back with this risk off sentiment going on, because when it's a risk off sentiment, franc is highly tied currency with gold, and gold is a risk off scenario. That's why franc is appreciating, and that appreciation is seen in this chart with this like a pullback. So if you still like if you think that this risk off scenario is not permanent, you can be long on this with a pretty tight stop. And when it's tight stop, like let's say around just below of this 21st of January, the low of that bar, and you can be long around here with a tight stop, which will provide a highly like potential risk reward ratio, as you can see, considering the price target of this head and shoulder bottom chart pattern. Skipping to AUDUSD, I just wanted to show here, remember that like Aussie is also highly tied with the gold, and it's highly tied with the growing economy as their exporter of industrial commodities. And when China does well, you see that Aussie currency does well as well. But here what I'm following is this bearish scenario, symmetrical triangle chart pattern. The breakdown had occurred and pulled back with this depreciation in dollar index that we have seen last week with the response. But with today, I mean the last bar here, you see the red bar is like this week's bar when the risk off scenario is here, and when it comes, like it's highly normal to see that OC's depreciation. So why I showed this, I think it created a shorting opportunity in AUDUSD. So a game plan like being short around here with a stop just inside the symmetrical triangle chart pattern seems like a sound game plan. Quickly, I'm skipping to Nasdaq. In Nasdaq futures chart, in the daily chart, I watch this up with candle chart pattern. And as you can see, breakout, pulled back, and short-term moving averages like managed to carry the price. It just like extended around here and like a pulling back with the risk of sentiment. So and yesterday, just look at where, I mean, in which level just acted as a support. It just bounced back from here, and that's the neckline of cup with handle. But that's why I think that was a buying opportunity if you're still believer that this DeepSeek issue or something like it's not like a permanent issue. I mean, it's pretty normal to see such reactions, but yeah, 17% is really high, but a sell-off in Nvidia. But in general, earnings are doing well. At least there's not like there's no any concrete issue for me. That's what I see. And if you go to higher time frame, in the weekly chart, I'm following this channel, by the way, and as you can see, the price is highly respecting to the mid level of this channel, this like a dotted line. And if we see like a further appreciation in the price, I will be monitoring to see a breakout above this like a mid level of this channel also, just to confirm. I wouldn't be trading with that. That wouldn't be a kind of like a sign to be getting, but at least like, okay, I would be okay, like the ongoing uptrend is seems healthy to me. And Russell index, I had mentioned this last week again, but I'm just showing repeatedly because it's creating a buying opportunity here. As you can see, this there's a cup with handle chart pattern is being formed here. And when you come to the daily chart, seeing a consolidation around here was critical. It broke out. I think that was also, I mean, might be a good way to like generate a game plan, like being long here. Sorry, let me open this long position. Being long around here with a stop like this, and I mean this wouldn't be like this would be like there would be an unrealized loss with the current scenario. But I still like I think it is worth giving a shot for like to do such game plan, considering if this managed to go up, then it will generate it will establish a cup with handle chart pattern, and you will be around these levels with some bullet in your pocket. Then you will be much more free to be in around with the breakout, because you would be like, okay, I had some bullet in my pocket. So that's, I had mentioned this game plan I think in the previous video. You can watch also through there. And the other chart that I want to show is Nikkei USD futures, Japanese indices. With the risk of sentiment, okay, we saw this sell-off, but there's a really nice rectangle chart pattern, and I'm monitoring to be long around here with a potential breakout. Quickly, gold again here, as you can see, cup with handle chart pattern is it's probable to be formed around here, and that's why sorry. So I'm actually monitoring this symmetrical triangle chart pattern breakout, but also this level is 2735 levels, like this here is also critical, and I'm watching this potential handle form. Is this going to be rejected from this highly respected price level, which is 2720-30 levels? If I see a turn from here, then you can use this as a buying opportunity with a stop just below this new support and old resistance level, and that will lead to a formation of cup with handle, which might end up with much stronger price performance. And lastly, I would like to talk about Bitcoin here. You might all remember that I was following this head and shoulder top or potential failure chart pattern. So it broke out, the failure chart pattern kicked in actually, but then we saw this pullback just below this neckline. But just to, sometimes when I'm just lost in charts, I'm trying to I generally erase all, like whatever I see, everything, all the my previous drawings. And when you go to a clean sheet of any a Bitcoin USDT, here I think this potential cup with handle forming is also worth monitoring. So I would like to see some, as you can see, the volume got down a bit, and here if we see some consolidation around here with volume coming down, that might lead to a breakout to form a cup with handle again, also in Bitcoin USDT. And that's how I'm monitoring. And I think in such scenario, that might provide a buying opportunity to see this a cup with handle continuation chart pattern to be in action. So yeah, I just try to cover whatever happened recently and its impact on market and what kind of buying opportunities emerged. I hope you liked whatever you saw here. I hope it's all these videos are informative for you. And if you like whatever you see here, please click like button. Also subscribe to Market Soul YouTube channel. Also subscribe for free to Rationale newsletter service. if you just like open notifications for the videos. And I hope you have a really good week and have a nice day. Bye.